Hi guys, it's Avery here, and I'm going to show you how to do some cute titles, or you can use them, even use them not as titles, but some cute ways to write. A lot of you ask me how I do my cursive, and although I can't really teach you cursive, I can teach you some tips and tricks on just how I spice things up and make them look different than just flat out writing a word. I always use a Pilot G2 pen no matter what. I'm actually running out of ink on some of the ones that I have. I need to go buy more, but yeah, honestly, these are all I use. I always have them. I carry them with me everywhere I go. If you do want to see how to do calligraphy specifically, I have a video. It's called Handwriting Basics. My sister teaches us how to do it. It's a really fun video. Y'all should go watch it. But if you just want to learn how to do bunch of different types of writing, then I will show you here. I'm going to go ahead and start out with cursive, and although it's basically the same thing as in the video I just mentioned, I'm still going to put it in here because I still get a lot of requests on how I do it. Honestly guys, I'm really not the best at writing, but because I practice non-stop on my cursive and my titles, they just get better over time. So that's really what you're going to have to do, is just practice, just like with anything else. So I write cursive normally, but sometimes if I forget how to do a letter in cursive, I'll just do it in print but mix it in with the cursive, if that makes sense. But that's just a little tip. Sometimes you forget, it's okay. So I always like to do a little line before I do the letter, well, most of the time. And most of the time I don't do a capital letter because, I mean, it's not as pretty when you have a space in between your lines. So that's really all I do most of the time, is just cursive. I do make it longer than normal cursive. I do the hoops in between letters way longer than if you're writing normal cursive. You can do it even longer if you really wanted to. By doing that, you just make the letters smaller and more drawn out and further apart, if that makes sense. Just like that. So these are two different types of Avery. One's like how I write normally, and then one's more drawn out if I'm feeling it more drawn out. Sometimes I won't even draw it out very much, and I won't even have the extra lines. I'll just straight up write. Avery, like that. Or sometimes I'll make it all elaborate and be like, if I want to write it around something. So that one's just like more fun. You can really just play around with your cursive. Because it is cursive, you can do fun stuff with your little squigglies. To spice these up, I do a couple of things. A lot of the time, I'll just go over it with pen and leave it normal. But darkening it up just adds a little bit better of an effect, a more polished effect, I guess. But most of the time, I guess I just said that on that one, but no, like majority of the time I do this. We explained this in the other video that I mentioned, but I'll explain it again. It's the calligraphy effect without using a calligraphy pen. So on every downstroke, you make the line thicker. You can make it as thick as you want, but every upstroke, you keep it really thin. See how that kind of works out there? You can do it thinner, you can do it thicker, it's up to you. So I do it calligraphy, I do it darker. Sometimes I don't even do either of it and just kind of leave it thin like that, which is cute. Or sometimes I don't fill in the downstrokes that I do, kind of like this. I do the same thing I do up here, but I don't fill in the insides. And you can also darken out each line that you do, but just to save ink and time, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, these are just some of the ways I do cursive. See, I told you guys it was really simple. I can't really teach you how to write cursive. You're just going to have to practice. And to make it look better, just go over it with pen and make it darker, make it calligraphy, make it like that. Do whatever you want. Sometimes you can even add a cute little flower on the end of your swirl, or you can make it a bigger swirl, or play around with it. Just like my tattoo right here, you don't even have to add space in between your cursive if you don't want to. So when I don't want to do cursive, but I still like to do these types of effects, I'll do some fun little things like this. So if you write in print all capital letters, it's really fun to do the same thing as we did in cursive, but instead of doing it on the downstrokes, you just do it on the right side. And that way it's kind of like it's lifted off the page. To even spice it up, you could add lines in between. I'm going to do that here. If you want to make it even bigger, but not super wide, it's really fun to make the words really thin tall and skinny. So to do that, you just make the words really smushed. So it's really smushed, and I'm going to do the same thing I did here, but I'm going to add lines to make it kind of look like it's coming off the page. I'll even add a little diagonal to the cube that I'm doing to add the effect of it coming off the page. Okay, and you just come in, do some slanted lines. I also really like block letters, which is pretty basic, but if you take your time with it, you can make it look really cool. So we're just going to kind of take our time with it. So basic block letters, but just a reminder so you don't forget. Another fun way to do block letters is to make the words really fat. You can even do it in lowercase letters. So you do that. Another thing is if you take time and print really nice and neat. My handwriting itself is really not very good, so I have to take my time with each thing that I do, if that makes sense. I'll even do downstroke on basic print. If you want to spice up a title, I will show you how to do that, or a little quote. So I'm going to finish it with what I want to say to you guys, and then you can just kind of see how I do it. When I'm writing a quote or a long title or whatever, I really like to mix it up with each one of those things. So this is usually how it'll turn out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Guys, I really hope you liked this video. If you have any questions on handwriting or whatever it is, just let me know. I hope this helped you guys in any sort of way. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.